Paul. Yeah. Mhm, mhm. I'm just reiterating this concept, right, of you protecting the rights of myself and my family, right, and you asking somebody if they committed a crime, and then you ask them, well, can you prove, yes, that you didn't commit the crime? Pope. And then you enforce their rights to sue the person that alleged that they committed the crime that they didn't commit. And the whole idea that I have equal rights as my wife does, yes, and that she can defend herself in court right now. Well, why are you obstructing me from suing her? I want custody of my sons. Oh. Now, she made sure, right, that I did not get notice of court hearings. That you issued a dissolution of marriage that has a number from the United Nations that needs to be dissolved so that I am no longer married. And every day that I told you this, you said, well, we had the right to do what we did, but we're still married. We still are married. I don't want to be married anymore. Does every judge understand what he's saying? Oh, am I bipolar? Did I call myself by the third person? You know, the use of the mouth. Let's say you bet, and you're the B on the individual. Yes. And you arrest somebody. Yes, City of Squim, as the plaintiff. Yeah. Now, I was arraigned on January 5th of 2016. Yep. Yep. And this was done on the 5th day of January 2016. After spending all day on January 4th of 2016 in jail. Yes. I was brought before the judge and no one asked me where I was at. No one told the judge, well, he wasn't in Squim. Yeah. We do not have to have additional court hearings when you have the evidence that you didn't commit any crime. Yeah. Now, at that time, I don't know as Bruce Hanafy had been assigned as counsel. Yes, yes, yes. But I do know, yes, that we didn't have a speedy trial. That the discovery that needed to be completed on January 19th of 2016, yeah, 14 days after arraignment, the prosecuting attorney's obligations and the defendant's obligations are specified under court rules, yes, 4.7a and 4.7b, and are incorporated herein. Yes. Now, you would have thought, after I had met with Bruce Hanafy, yes, and I said, I was not in Squim, and I want you to motion the court to remove the protection order, that there was no possible way that we should have had an additional court hearing after January 19th of 2016. Yes, because I was not in Squim. Pope, there was no way that we should have had an additional court hearing. Now, just looking at it, okay, who was the alleged victim of the violating of the restraint provisions? Yes, knowingly violate a restraining or protection order granted. Poo, 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 poo. Okay, that's what it says. No additional documentation, nothing being said about what actually took place. Yes. Just that you violated the restraint provisions. Now, you would have thought that the prosecuting attorney's office obligations, yes, and the defendant's obligations. Yeah. Could you get me those court rules? Because it sounds similar to that Peninsula Daily News article that I read that the prosecuting attorney Mark Nichols, yes, had an obligation because of Brady versus to admit the exculpatory evidence that the defense could use if they want to, and that the individual known as the undersheriff or deputy sheriff, or was it the exculpatory evidence that the alleged victim that had alleged victimization, yes, was really not mentally competent. You couldn't trust her actual testimony. Now, I didn't read the whole article. See, All I did was read the obligation of the prosecuting attorney's office. Now, in this contractual obligation, yeah, the prosecuting attorney and Mr. Cowgill, yeah, Ms. Cochran, poop, and every employee in each and every prosecuting attorney's office that does what's known as discovery. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You would have thought, within 2 weeks of being arrested. Well, let's see, it was within 3 weeks of being arrested. Poot, somebody would have went to the Clallam Transit System main office right now, and they would have said, "Well, we'd like to see the video and the audio of Mr. Budnick when he was leaving the Serenity House." But nobody did that. Everybody said he was guilty. Pow, 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 pow. Now let's say, okay, that no one takes seriously the obligations of the prosecuting attorney's office and the public defender's obligations right now. Let's say I had a little lawsuit.